Holy Railway to Mecca. Abdul Hamid hopes it will bind his empire in Asia. Road now runs to Muhammad's tomb in Medina and will be completed to Mecca in 1913 at cost of 40 million. 40 million notes. And they be damned if they didn't have to make a money scheme out of this. Just like with the book I put out, Y'all Are Sleeping, Sheik Ali and his student Mohammed, and the lesson in regards to the holy donkeys. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you sleeping on the book. Which brings me again to the most favorite image here on the Amexem Almanac. It is an image, it says, a Muslim who made his temple inside of a tree. He hollowed out the tree and made his temple there. That's the most favorite image. The temple is within, brothers and sisters. On Tuesday, September 1st, the Holy Railroad, what is Allah gonna ride in on it? Was opened from Damascus to Medina, and no avowed Christian is to be allowed to pass further than Medina Celeb into the country of Hijaz. So there is a savior of mystery about the Holy Railroad, which runs near the tomb of the Prophet of Medina. It is the holy city that received Muhammad when Mecca cast him out as a heretic, denouncing paganism and idolatry and preaching. There is one God and Allah is his name. It was in 622 AD that Medina allowed the young reformer to preach his new faith. Finally, his new gospel was preached by the force of the sword, and Muhammad won the reputation of a miracle worker. He conquered Mecca and made it the center of Islam, and the Kaaba, or sacred pantheon, was made the great temple of the Muslim faith. But the Kaaba was special before Muhammad. When Muhammad was 10 years of age, a mother walked up to the Kaaba. This is the story that the Muslims tell. The mother walked up to the Kaaba, it split open, and she went inside for 4 days and gave birth to an Ali when Muhammad was 10 years of age. And that little Ali followed Muhammad around everywhere. And that Ali ended up marrying Muhammad's daughter, but they don't talk about that. And he's an Ali. But the uncle or the father of that Ali was the one who adopted Muhammad. I also want to add that it stated it was in 622 AD that Medina allowed young reformer to preach his new faith, right? So then when I go and look into the Shriner manual, it says the ancient order of nobles of the mystic shrine was instituted by Mohammedan Caliph Ali, his name be praised, the son-in-law of the Prophet Muhammad, in the year Hijra 25 AD 656 at Mecca. So that was 656. This is 622. So did Ali give Muhammad institution or authorization to do this? Does he derive his authority from Ali? Because it says here 622 was when he was allowed, a young reformer, to preach his new faith. Finally, his new gospel was preached. Noble Ali said the old time religion is Islamism. But we'll get back to this. At Medina, Muhammad died and was buried and was laid in his mosque tomb, where the faithful for centuries have worshipped their leader. I thought they just said he stated no idolatry, but it's saying they are worshiping their leader. This mosque is the holiest spot of the Mohammedan world. See, if Noble Ali thought Muhammad was so special, why'd he say Mecca's in Chicago? A Muslim asked Noble Ali about Mecca in the East. Do we have to take our Hajj, Prophet? And that is probably why he stated back, your Mecca's here, your new Mecca's in Chicago. It is said to be decorated with costly ornaments and gifts from the devotees. Today, an electric light illuminates the veil that conceals the Prophet's tomb, which is about as great a miracle as the Hijra, or flight of the Prophet to Medina. Mecca is the ultimate end of the Holy Railway. Into Mecca, the pilgrim must enter in the seamless garment like a penitent and perform all the ceremonies as old as his faith. The great Kaaba, the ancient pantheon of idolatry, must be walked around 7 times. The pilgrim must stone the devil and listen to a sermon delivered from the granite blocks of Arafat. Such are a few of the fervent devotions of the Hajj or pilgrims at Mecca. The Egyptian orator who spoke at the inauguration of the Holy Railroad said the Prophet did not permit the railway to reach Medina until the Caliph or Sultan had granted a constitution, which is now the cure-all for every Muslim ill. Well, Noble Drew Ali made the divine constitution of Moorish America, and he said Moorish America. So any of y'all saying this ain't Moorish America, man, screw you. For 8 years, the work on the Holy Railroad has gone on, and it is not finished yet. The engineers say it will not be until 1913 when the trains will run through to Mecca. This huge undertaking is estimated will cost 40 million notes. Again, 40 million. It's all a big scheme, a money scheme to bring people in like it's a carnival or like it's some kind of commerce. Turkey has lost one after another of her provinces in Europe, and Macedonia is but a question of time, but she hopes by means of the Damascus-Mecca railway to have more intimate contact with the Muslim world and to bind together her empire in Asia. For beyond a doubt, with time, this so-called Holy Railway will become a political railway. Indeed, man, all the resources. And the Sultan has perfectly understood the importance of it. From this point of view, leaving outside its value as a means of transport for the military, because he knew he was going to be backed by the Foreign Legion. 15 years ago, 50 or 60 miles south of Damascus, in an independent little country, one of the heads of the administration wrote the Pierre Loti, in the name of Allah, who is all in all, and not in the same of the Sultan of Istanbul, who is no one. The Sultan sought to give to the Mecca Railway a pan-Islamic character under the direction of the Muslim engineers, Turks sent from Damascus, but this program has not been strictly carried out. For Germans, French, and Belgians have all been called in to push on the great enterprise. Yeah, the enterprise. Subscriptions were open in every part of the world. The Shah of Persia was one of the first to head the list with 200,000. The Khedive of Egypt added 200,000. From India, many hundreds of thousands of dollars have come, all from Muslim sources. They're all bringing in, remember the 14 India princes, and they was making the statements they was going to start it around Canaan land and come down, because they already did it through Cuba up. And then in the early 1900s, then they was going to start coming in from what they said was Canada. The 14 India princes was given troops and finance and all of that. But finally, these subscriptions of the faithful were not sufficient. So the money of Christian investors had to be accepted with a good grace. Man, they just can't get enough. Money, 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 money. The Sultan has even resorted to selling decorations, which are so dear to the heart of the Turk. The first class is a medal in nickel bestowed on those who subscribe from 5 to 10 notes. The second class is silver for the officials, for those who subscribe from 10 to 20 notes. And the third class medal in gold to be worn about the neck and bestowed on those who subscribe more than 30 notes. Which leads me to the clip I've been wanting to share with you in regards to the Moorish government having to go get all the stuff that the Sultan pawned. Hold on, let me go try to find it. Hold up. Royal jewels in pawn. The ex-Sultan Abdul Aziz pawned all his crown jewels for 1,000,000 francs at the Mont de Piet at Paris, and they were only just redeemed by the Moorish government in time to prevent their being sold among other unredeemed goods. This man was out here hustling, man, giving up all his stuff for what? And who had to help him? The Moorish government. I'll let you go through the other ones too. I think we did this reading in one of the other demonstrations, but I found some new clippings in regards to this. So I'll let you go ahead and go over it yourself. Islamism, I leave you in peace and love. Divine honors, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish divine and national movement of the world.